All right. Welcome everyone to another mental performance training video with yours truly. The month of January, we are covering the topic of a game day mentality. All right, so a quick recap from our December video. We talked about the mindset of team first and me second. And so working towards the same goals as your team with the same motivation in mind and making sure we're putting our team first when we're working towards any sort of goals this season. Quick review of what I told you guys to be working on, some habits to be building each week, a reflection of what went well and why for me and my team after each practice. Now that you guys have competed in a couple tournaments, you could do this after every match or after every day of a tournament as well. Making sure we're giving praise to teammates on the court, texting teammates, writing on the whiteboard, stuff like that. And then encouraging setting personal goals for ourselves, nothing wrong with that, but remembering that everything that we work on throughout our seasons is to build a championship team. So if you're setting personal goals for stats or to get recruited or for any other reason, totally great. We know that we can get there as we are building our great team habits on top of it. All right. So for the month of January, we are talking about game day mentality. This is a month where you guys are starting to compete. A lot of teams are going to Central Zone this weekend to qualifiers. Some people have already competed in qualifiers. We're kind of ramping up the way we want to be prepared for matches in our competition level. So I thought it was a great time to talk about where our mindset should be on game day. This is a quote from one of my favorite sports psych authors, Trevor Moawad. He says the human mind absorbs negativity 7 times more easily than it absorbs positivity. We also know that language is the most powerful carrier of negativity. Thinking about my struggles is nowhere near as powerful as verbalizing them. When it comes out of my mouth, it affects me tenfold. Everything we say to ourselves matters. Obviously, the words we say out loud to other people matter, but the words we say in our own heads are just as important because we have more power over ourselves than anyone else does. In summary, um, I think we all know self-talk. We all know the things we say is important. The biggest stress is how powerful those words can be to ourselves, even more important than our words to other people. When we allow ourselves to give into some anxious thoughts on game day, some negative thoughts, some true thoughts about matches, like, I don't think we're going to do well. This other team looks good. I don't think I'm going to play well. We're essentially setting ourselves up to feel anxious and negative during a match. We're kind of allowing ourselves to feel that way. On the flip side, when we push ourselves to think really realistically before a match, like why we can win, why we will succeed, not overly positive. You're not going in every match saying we are going to win, we're going to dominate, but we're just saying why. Like, what are the things that are going to help us win? We're actually setting ourselves up to feel way more confident. What we say and what we think about really matters. So it's important when you guys go into these game days at these big tournaments to have the right mindset and to really challenge ourselves and not give into the anxious thoughts and imagine failure, but actually give into the more confident and true thoughts. All right, quick activity for you guys. Grab a piece of paper and a pen or something to write with if you don't have one already. I'm going to go through the instructions, and as per usual, I'm going to have you guys pause the video as you go through it and finish it up, resume the video when you're done. So what I want you guys to do is take a minute and write out all the things you need to do to physically prepare for game day. For instance, do you have a routine, a favorite snack or a breakfast? Does it include getting a certain amount of sleep, food, water, rest, etc.? So I want you to pause the video quickly and write out what your physical game day preparation checklist is. I know everyone has one. Everyone's got their routine, the things that make their body feel good. Go ahead, pause the video and write those out. Next, I want you guys to write out all the things you need to do to mentally prepare for game day. This isn't often something we think about. Sometimes we just think about the physical preparation, and kind of let our minds do what they're going to do. But newsflash, we have control over what we think about. So let's be really cognizant of that. So maybe thinking about what your mental game day preparation checklist could be, like writing down why you will have success. It could be watching highlights of yourself or your team, going over a specific game plan that your coach gave you, relaxation exercise, and pump up music, whatever it is. Write down those things that you want to do consistently to mentally prepare on game day. Pause the video, resume when you are done with that. And finally, I want you guys to write out with our team in mind, our team first mentality, what you can do to make your teammates successful on game day. What is your game day preparation to essentially be a good teammate and a supporter for your teammates? Is that communication or encouragement on the mental side? Is it physical skills that you want to do well at? Like if you pass well, that's going to help your team. If you serve hard, that's going to help your team. Jot down a couple ideas of how you can help your teammates be successful on game day. Same thing, pause the video, resume when you are done. Okay, awesome. So I think this activity is great. It's super simple. The big stress is on as much as we do to physically prepare for games. If we even think about our physical preparation at practice, in AP, in other lessons that you guys might do outside of your practice time, that's all our physical preparation. The mental preparation and getting ourselves in the right mindset to be confident and successful really is just as important. So I want you guys to be really um, intentional about how we mentally prepare for game day. If you are feeling anxious and you're feeling nervous, that's all normal. I don't want you to not feel that way, but I do want us to have the right things in our mind if we think and feel that way. So I think first thing to do throughout the season, use, edit your game day preparation plan throughout the year. Super important. Think about what helped, what didn't help. If you're going to Central Zone or qualifier this weekend, bring it along with you, making sure you're doing those things. And kind of continuing to ask yourself, how can I be supporting myself or my teammates even more? Practice your game day mentality each day, even before practice. And so, going into practices, we also have to be physically and mentally prepared to succeed, essentially, and feel confident. So, maybe you had a long day at school. Our anxious mind says this is going to be a hard practice. Our confident mind says, I can still succeed even when I had a long day. So, things like that I think are super helpful. Why will I succeed today? How can we still be really prepared almost in a game day mindset for practices as well? Perfect. All right. So, kind of our big points there. I think I just want you guys to normalize those feelings of feeling nervous if you are feeling anxious, totally okay. Let's challenge our mindset to ask ourselves, why will I be successful today? And what can I do to help my teammates be successful, both physically and mentally? All right, quick summary for you all. What we say and what we think matters to ourselves, to our teammates. If you think that you have to be hard on yourself or you have to imagine mistakes because you don't want to make them, that all matters. That's all going to not make us feel good and feel prepared for game day. I want you guys to have visions in your head of why you will be successful. Are we preparing for game day with the right mindset? Why will I and my teammates succeed today? Super, super easy way to get down into what I want you guys to be thinking on a game day is why will I have success today? It's not telling ourselves we will win. We have no control over that most of the time. We can control our preparation and the things we do in the process. The outcome will come with that. And so, a really good question is why will I and my teammates succeed today? Last thing, prepare mentally as much as you would physically. So put in the work at practice, lessons, AP, all the stuff you're doing. Get your bodies right, get enough sleep and food. On the same side, put so much work into where your mindset is on game day and how you're going to be supportive to your teammates. Last thing I'll say, I know this video is a little bit of a quicker one, but I really want you guys to go into this awesome time of the year where you're getting to know teammates, you're trying to figure out what works, but you still want to and need to be successful on the court with just the this right tools and the right skills you need to do that. This is such a fun time of the year. Some people are getting into qualifiers. Central Zone is one of my favorite tournaments when I used to coach to go to because everyone just comes in ready to compete, ready to win this big tournament right off the bat. I want you guys to go in thinking like we can succeed in this tournament, and this is why. As always, you guys reach out to me with any questions that you have, and go Sting.